Today on CityCast Nashville, school is out for summer, which means it's officially family road trip season. We're revisiting a favorite episode of ours with CityCast Nashville contributor Amelia Edelman, who shares the best family getaways within driving distance of Nashville. It's Tuesday, May 26th. I'm Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Has anything ever gone hilariously wrong on a family trip? Tell us what happened.
When it comes to family road trips, the answer to that question is just kind of like, which vomit story do you want to hear? I think the most notable one was we were about to do a pretty epic road trip from Nashville, which is not necessarily on my weekend family road trips list because we were driving to the Carolina coast, which was ultimately 11 to 12 hours. But yeah, Silas, my 9-year-old, who was 4 at the time-ish, threw up all over the back seat and himself and the car seat 30 minutes outside of Nashville. So then, so then we had a casual 11 hours left. And just like, what an iconic, like, traveling parent moment. We were like pulled over at a gas station. We've barely left town and we're like buying all these weird cleaning supplies because it was actually not even our car. It was my partner's bandmate's car that we were delivering to Raleigh, North Carolina. And we're like, oh my God, we got to clean Liz's car and scrubbing it. And poor Silas, he was like, I want to go home. Can we go home? We're like, nope.
You have 11 more hours there to sit. Well, that's fun. That's not good.
Always a good story, though. He tells it, too. He'll be like, remember when I threw up?
Well, let's get into maybe one of your favorite recent road trips with your kids. Where did you go? What did you do? And were you solo parenting or did your partner come along?
I always love to go to Memphis. It's just the right amount of distance. It's about a 3-hour drive from Nashville. And so you feel like you've truly left. You're not 30 minutes outside at a gas station. I did it solo with my older son. And it's always so much fun. And he has like very early memories of traveling to Memphis with me when I was a single mom. You know, now we've been going out there every once in a while for about 8 years, which is hard to believe.
Do you stay at the same place every time?
So I love the Arrive Hotel, Memphis. It's one of these like converted downtown boutique hotels that's in a really old building that they have really jazzed up. And of all the places I stay and post hotel-wise, it is the one that gets the most surprised reactions from people. Where they're like typing it like, okay, Memphis. Like we had nobody knows that it's like so nice and chic. I just love Memphis because it has such that balance of like culture and, you know, it can be a little grimy, but I'm a Bronx kid and that makes me feel at home. Music and food, and there's just a lot of fun stuff that my son and I love to do.
Have y'all ever gone to the Peabody to see the ducks?
Of course, they're so
You
cute.
have?
Yeah.
That's what we used to do all the time when we were younger.
We've stayed at the Peabody too, and it's also really lovely. It's just a little bit more like elevated, where Arrive feels very like chic and chill. It's one of those boutique hotels that you're like, okay, kids are totally allowed. And something that we've always loved to do while staying at the Arrive, they have their bar downstairs that's really cool, but it's kind of an open plan, cozy couches, seating, fireplaces, what have you. And they have chess boards down there. And so we'll go for like cocktail and milk happy hour and play chess. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's so fun for kids.
He loves to play chess.
Well, I do want to add to listeners at home who do not know about the ducks at the Peabody. Mm-hmm. The ducks take the elevator down from the roof and hang out in the fountain in the lobby and then take the elevator back up to the roof. I mean, it's pretty wild. I thought maybe I should add some context there.
Yeah, they just march their little duck butts right across the hotel lobby.
But I do think the trick is not to stay at the Peabody. Just go and watch the ducks and stay someplace else.
Peabody's fancy. You don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need that fancy in your life. What vacation spot does your family keep going back to over and over again?
It's New Orleans in terms of like the driving vacation spots. And we have done New Orleans in a long weekend, maybe 3 days or so. It's long. It is a 7.5 hour drive. Oh, fun fact that I should introduce on doing a road trips episode, I grew up in New York City and moved to Nashville in 2016 and had to learn to drive.
Oh, you learned to drive in Nashville?
I had my license. I had gotten it when I was 16 because I was so excited. And then I never used it, never had a car. Really, it was a solid 15 years of not driving, had completely forgotten everything. You shouldn't be allowed to keep a license that long, in my opinion. But so I had to have a friend take me to a church parking lot in East Nashville. When I moved here, I'm 31 years old. And I was like, what do the buttons do? I had to learn to pump gas. I had never pumped gas. So when talking about the road trip to Memphis, that's actually the longest I've ever driven on my own, with just me and a kid, is 3 hours. I am an old hat at the passengering, navigating, planning of the road trips.
Interesting, Amelia. That's good. That's good to know.
It's a funny fact.
Okay, so going down to New Orleans, you've always had somebody else with you.
My son and I go basically every year at some point. And typically we drive with a friend, another friend who wants to go. But we always go to New Orleans because I just feel like there's I have a relationship with that city where there's this reset and I can almost feel it in my body that oh, it's been a year. And I think Silas does as well. We typically get an Airbnb, stay in the Bywater. Sometimes we've mixed it up and stayed in the Hotel Fontenot, probably my favorite hotel if I'm staying in a hotel. It's got all this jazz history. There's a whole wall that is filled with trumpet mutes, and it just feels like you're really embedded in New Orleans culture. And we get a lot of po' boys. The Café du Monde hack that I must share is that the one that is inside City Park, not the Café du Monde in the French Quarter, is the same, but it's way more space and there's no lines. And then you're right in City Park, which for kids, there's this whole storybook playground land that is really, really fun. And so you can get beignets, the same ones, without waiting for 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that is a great tip.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. All right. What's one hidden gem within a few hours of Nashville that more people should know about?
So I think my sleeper city is Birmingham. I really love Birmingham. I had really low expectations. It is so cool. It's one of those cities where you go and you're just this is here? It's got a really great food scene, brewery scene. There's an oyster bar there that I love. And then they have cool music and event spaces. There's one called Sloss Furnaces, which is this old, an industrial space that's been renovated into, I think they have weddings there and stuff too, but they have concerts. And I've been there with kids, without kids. One thing I like to do on the way to Birmingham is to stop in Florence, Alabama, which is another cute town. It's much smaller. There's less to do there than there is in Birmingham, but they have this really beautiful Frank Lloyd Wright house, and I'm obsessed. If I'm anywhere in the country that has a Frank Lloyd Wright house, I'm one of those people who is taking the architecture tour and dragging my son along.
Oh, you and my mother.
Right? We should hang.
She drags me along. Oh, that's great.
And for kids, though, they have the McWane Science Center is there. So there's touch tanks, IMAX, one of those science museums that's interactive. They have a zoo, and there's a lot of civil rights trail landmarks there. So I love to sneak in some education on our weekend travels.
Well, what's the best road trip for families on a very tight budget? These days are a little touch and go for some.
I'm going to say another sleeper hit, Bowling Green. Good old Bowling Green. Because ultimately you can get to Bowling Green and back. You can do a day trip. You don't need to stay overnight. And if you're not spending on a hotel or an Airbnb, then that is giving you a lot more bang for your buck. And Bowling Green, you can get there in 45 minutes, an hour. The whole theme of this episode is surprise, Southern cities are cool. But Bowling Green has the National Corvette Museum. Kids love cars. And actually, I don't like cars, as we know. I don't care about cars. But it's fascinating from a design perspective and just the way that the industry has gone, the branding. They have the Barbie Corvette in there. And I don't know if you know this story, but the Corvette Museum a few years back had a sinkhole in it because Kentucky is in this karst topography. It's cave land. There was a sinkhole that opened up in one of the exhibit halls in the middle of the night, and all these Corvettes fell into the earth. But what's really cool is that now they have turned all of that into part of the exhibit. And so you actually are in the hall. I mean, it's been reinforced and it's safe now and this and that, but there's like a clear part where you can walk over the sinkhole that opened up. It's wild. It made me very nervous, but my kids loved it.
Wow.
So another great thing you can do is you can go to Mammoth Cave National Park. You can visit that while you're there and bring kids in the caves, and they love that. Bowling Green has a really fun roller rink that I love. And again, it's very spacious. Like, you don't have to fight the crowds. And Bowling Green has, I believe, one of the only reindeer farms in the country. So in the Christmassy time, you can bring kids and like pet the reindeer that live there, which is really cute.
That's a great holiday destination. I don't know if this stat holds up now, but I think 20 years ago, Bowling Green, Kentucky had the most fast food restaurants per capita.
Really?
In the country. Yeah.
That's
I don't know
funny.
why I knew that, but who knows? I love a McDonald's. Looking for a getaway that feels a little more magical than your average hotel stay? Then you have got to check out Ancient Lore Village, tucked away in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. Designed to help guests disconnect from everyday life and reconnect with wonder and creativity. It feels like stepping into your own fantasy novel. Think whimsical cottages, scenic woodland trails, chef-crafted meals, fairy dinners, medieval feasts, axe throwing, and immersive themed evenings that make it easy to forget real life for a while. Whether you're an all-out fantasy enthusiast or just looking for a unique girls' trip, romantic getaway, or weekend escape, Ancient Lore Village is one of the most unforgettable destinations in Tennessee. And starting June 5th, they've got even more memorable events and experiences lined up for the summer. Book your magical getaway today at ancientlorevillage.com. All right, what about destinations for the whole family, like especially for young kids and teens and grandparents? You're doing the whole shebang.
I really, really love Athens, Georgia. Like, I'm kind of obsessed. And something that I love about it, I mean, I don't have teens. I have a 9-year-old and a now 3-year-old. But my 9-year-old, he already projects plenty teen vibes. But I can already tell that that's like a destination that we'll be able to go back to as he gets older. Because they have kid stuff, you know, but they have, like, I love the indie bookstores there. They have a lot of like breweries that are sort of all ages, you know, like the brewery setup where kids can run around and there's some table games and some lawn games. And there's such a fun, like, music history in Athens. Like, REM is from there. And so I feel like as he slowly grows into his rock and roll teen self, he's still being kept interested. But also there's a lot of like great hiking around. It's just kind of like a well-rounded city, great food, a lot of music and coffee shops, just kind of hitting all the markers. And then another one, which like similar vibes, is Asheville, North Carolina. Everybody loves Asheville. You know, it's been through some shit lately with the hurricane and everything and the flooding, but they are thriving. They're coming back from it. A lot of businesses have really bounced back. And that's somewhere that I can really see a whole multi-gen family trip being like, cool, we're all going to come together to do one of those all ages breweries, whatever. Then like split off, and whoever wants to hike can hike, and you don't have to all go along.
Yeah, my family really likes Asheville because we've learned that the Airbnbs just right outside of Asheville are way cheaper. And sometimes we get two because my sister's family likes to have their own little space, and then we can have our own little space over here too. So it's been really popular for the Andersons.
Yeah, love that.
What do you look for in a rest stop? And then do you have any all-time faves here in Tennessee?
I mean, I look for clean bathrooms, but do I find them? No. You know, I've given up the hope of truly clean bathrooms, but I'm actually more interested in, like, I want to find the mom and pop rest stops. You know, like, we know that the cleanest bathrooms are going to be in like the big truck stops. So that's good to look for if you're actually mostly just looking for clean bathrooms. But in terms of food, especially because we do that New Orleans drive, so often it is a wasteland of food opportunities between here and New Orleans, man. We'll be like in the middle of Mississippi and finally be hungry for lunch. And then we're like, oh, there's nothing. One stop that I have loved is in Jackson, Tennessee, not to be confused with Jackson, Mississippi, but we were driving to Jackson, Mississippi at the time. Jackson is west of us. It's kind of on the way to Memphis. And this place is named very straightforward, Exit 87 BBQ. And it is BBQ on Exit 87. But it's a mom and pop stop. It's family run, and the sides are really good. You know, you get the mac and cheese and the slaw. We got so much, and then we brought it with us for the rest of the trip and like kept eating it out of our hotel fridges. That's how you know it's good, because we're like eating day old, whatever it was, coleslaw. We're like, well, it's still good.
Is that the place with the train?
It has like a pig wearing underwear outside.
Maybe I'm confused with a train versus pig. Yeah.
Another one. So it is on the drive to New Orleans from Nashville in Pachuta, Mississippi, and it's called Norma Jean's Diner. And it looks so cute. And it's got 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor. Look at this multi-level dining space. You got twinkle lights up top. It's in the middle of nowhere. And it's got to be closed on Sundays because Jesus. And Sundays seems to be always when we're driving back. But this is like our white whale of the Nashville to New Orleans road trip. We're like, we need to go to Norma Jean's, and I've not eaten there yet.
Those are my favorite stops.
Yeah. It's rated number 1 of one restaurant in Pachuta, Mississippi on TripAdvisor. You guys, we got to go.
All right. We're going to do a very fun, quick lightning round. Okay. I'm going to just yell things at you, and then you're going to tell me the best place to take your family. Best educational destination for kids.
Chattanooga. It's really fun because if they're like indoor kids or outdoor kids, you can take them to the aquarium. I mean, that aquarium is unreal.
It's so amazing. Yes.
It's epic. And then there's Rock City, which is right there up on Lookout Mountain, where you can see 7 states on a clear day. So you got like outside and caving, learning about rocks education too.
Best amusement park trip.
None. 0 amusement park. No.
You don't take the kids.
I don't like amusement park. I took my older kid to Disney World last year, and he had the time of his life. And I was like, I'm in it for the mom points, but I hate an amusement park. But you like them. You like Dollywood, right?
I love Dollywood. We went the weekend before school started in Tennessee, and we had the whole park basically to ourselves.
That's smart.
I went back for Christmas, and that was so different because a lot of the rides are closed. They had like fake snow everywhere. I mean, it was pretty great.
That sounds amazing.
You feel the Christmas spirit, let me tell you.
I would give Dollywood a chance. I don't like a ride, but I like a vibe. So I'll be there for the snacks.
Best nature-focused trip.
The Smoky Mountains. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So we just did spring break here this year, and we stayed in Townsend, Tennessee, which is the peaceful side of the Smokies. That's like actually their official branding, and it's actually accurate because most people know about Dollywood and Gatlinburg. And so this is about 40 minutes away from those sort of hot spots, and it is so chill. And, you know, there's hiking, there's caves, there's waterfalls, there's maybe bears. The kids loved it, and it was really actually peaceful.
All right, best place to let the kids run free.
Run free in the forest. So I'm such a city kid, and I actually feel more comfortable letting my kids run free in a city because I'm like, you're not going to fall off a cliff here. So going back to Memphis, my forever favorite, a place we go every time is this place called Laughlin Yard in Memphis, which is a restaurant, event space, play. It's like a big outdoor, indoor, fenced-in restaurant type area, and there's games. It's just one of those places where you can just not look at your kids and know that they have not run in the street, and that is the dream. There's kid food and there's cocktails. It's like the best balance.
What is the best rainy day backup plan?
My rainy day backup is always a museum. I love a museum because I'm a nerd, but it doesn't even, with kids, in my opinion, have to be like a children's museum or a science museum or one of those more kiddie ones. I love the Contemporary Art Museum in Chattanooga. I love the art museum in Atlanta, and I have dragged my kids to art museums that are not kid specific all over the place, and they've had a great time. Like sometimes even if they don't understand what the art is, it sparks like interesting conversations, especially the little guy. He'll be like looking at some installation art and be like, well, I clearly see that it's a mountain with a giraffe on it. And you're like, wow,
In your opinion, beach or mountains?
I'm a beach gal. But with kids, I think beaches is hard because you have to watch them more closely. And in mountains, you can be like, run through the woods a little bit.
Any favorite beaches you like to drive to from Nashville?
We have never done the 30A drive. I know that that's like the common one that people do, going down to Pensacola, what have you. We're about to go for the first time to the Gulf Shores, to like the Alabama coast this coming fall. So I'm really looking forward to that because I have heard that the Alabama beaches are just as nice, but way more chill than the Florida beaches. So that's always my goal.
How do you keep your kids entertained in the car for that long of a road trip?
Great question.
What tips can you give us?
My tip is a podcast called Greeking Out. That podcast alone has gotten us through so many road hours. It's billed as the greatest stories in history. There's a singing theme song are found in Greek mythology. Greeking Out. It's God's heroes, like all kinds of drama. But because of the car sickness problem, we can't do so much of the screen time. Once we're like full on interstate and it's like straight shot, no bumps, not moving, we can, let them watch a movie or something. But podcasts or audiobooks have been a big lifesaver in the car because then they can look at the sky and not throw up.
All right, last question. When you think back on your favorite road trip as a kid, what do you remember? And what do you hope your kids remember from the ones you take?
That's such a great question. I didn't road trip much as a kid because we were, in the city. My parents owned a car. We were in the Bronx, so we weren't in like packed Manhattan. I do remember, it's so funny thinking about, my dad had a VW bus, I think, at one point, and it was
cool.
It was so run down, and I have a very distinct memory of being really young and seeing that there was like a hole through the floor, and I could just see the road passing beneath us. And so it's just like
Flintstones. I
know, like the Flintstones. But that gives me hope that even if my kids do remember whatever road trip disasters happen or like the weird, less than ideal stuff, that it's still something that they'll be able to like laugh about. Oh, I also remember driving from Omaha, Nebraska to Western Nebraska to Halsey, where I used to go to a camp. And every time on this road trip, which I think was like 6 hours, we would stop at this Ben Franklin. Do you know Ben Franklin's? It's like it's a chain because I've actually been to another one. I don't know where they live. They're like in rural places. It's some sort of like chain Hobby Lobby craft store. And it was my favorite thing to do as a kid, and just like wander around and then like spend $1 on whatever tchotchkes or like craft supplies. I like to think that Silas is going to grow up and have his own like Ben Franklin. He's going to be like Norma Jeans, the day we finally made it. It's going to go down in road trip history.
I love it. Well, I cannot believe we haven't mentioned Buc-ee's this whole time.
Yeah. We should discuss Buc-ee's. We love a Buc-ee's, right?
You do? Yes. I mean, I know some people don't because it's so crowded.
Yeah. I don't default to Buc-ee's just because I'm always on my weird quest to find something off the beaten path. And Buc-ee's is anything but that. But yeah, it's very reliable. I love the swag.
And the best bathrooms.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that brisket sandwich. Oh, well, Amelia, this really has been so great. And what's great about what you just recommended is that, yes, it's great for families, but also these could be solo trips or with a partner or whatever. These are all great tips, and I really appreciate you coming on.
I think we should plan a road trip together. Dollywood, here we come.
Dollywood. Beep, beep. Let's go. I mean, seriously, let's go.
I'm down.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our CityCast Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!